Moving on, in the 1970s, Native activists still were encountering the government. In 1972, the Trail of Broken Treaties March was launched by AIM leaders in the hopes of regaining 110 million acres of land and abolishing the Bureau of Indian Affairs. In 1973, AIM led the Sioux to seize the Wounded Knee to process both tribal leadership and federal policies. A violent shootout broke out when the natives and the FBI tried to negotiate. The shootout caused the death of 2 Native Americans. At the end, the government promised to re-examine the rights of Native Americans. After years of fighting for their basic rights, Native Americans finally gained some victories. The United States government finally made some reforms regarding the Native rights. For example, in the 1970s, the Taos of New Mexico regained possession of the Blue Lake and its surrounding lands. In 1971, Alaska Native Claims Settle Act gave Alaskan Natives 44 million acres and more than 162 million. In 1972, Congress passed the Indian Self-Determination Act and Education Assistance Act. Throughout the 1970s and the 1980s, Native Americans won settlements that provided legal recognition of their tribal lands and financial compensation. After years of crusade against the unjust, the culture of Native Americans became highly respected in both the common people in America and the natives themselves. 562 tribes are now allowed to govern their own, with similar rights as state rule in the United States. While half of them still live in federal reservations, many are assimilated by the modern culture and moved to large cities or rural areas. However, unemployment, poverty, alcohol and drug addiction are still serious issues remaining mainly in the reservations. Conditions in some areas that lack of education and good health care had little improvement to their situation on poverty. In addition, another existing issue that has been constantly suffering the Native Americans remains in the reservations. That is the action of whites taking away their land. Recently, in South Dakota, pipelines of factories was illegally built in the reservations. However, the government remains silent to this incident. The broken promises among whites and natives on land have continued throughout the American history.